All right, so I had a customer bring in a 63 102 horsepower engine. The customer claimed that it had 6,200 original miles on this car. He showed me pictures of the car. I may be inclined to agree with him. You just start looking for signs. It is super, super clean in here. I pulled the distributor. The distributor shaft was super clean. I'm looking through the holes here. The heads are clean. It looks like the engine has probably got 6,000 miles on it. It sat for a long, long time. So, took the carburetors off, and I've been running a compression test, and I've been getting about 135 pounds on every cylinder. Checked the oil. They kept clean oil in it. So right now, I don't have any reason to believe that this is not a 6,000 mile engine. So the next step is to start taking stuff off, clean everything up, reseal it, new push rod O-rings, valve cover gaskets, pan gasket, go through, change the front seal, and clean it up a little bit and get it back to the customer. So I've done compression test, and I also, before I will run or spin an engine, I always like to pressurize the system. Let's do that now. Got excellent oil pressure. Bouncing around 45, 50 pounds. It's so much pressure I can't even get this guy to turn. So it looks like a really tight little 102. You just never see a Corvair engine that's 60 years old that's got 6,000 miles on it. But I'm starting to believe that that's what I've got here. So the other thing that I do before I spin these things is I will actually take the engine and I will I'm going to take the engine and I'm going to lift it over on its side, just like that. Now the reason I'm doing that is I'm going to get all the oil that I can into that valve cover. I don't know anything about the rockers. I don't know if they're dry. They probably aren't, but it's just not a bad idea to go ahead and angle the engine over and allow all the engine to come out of the sump and go into a valve cover. And then I'm going to take the engine and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I want all that oil to go over into that head. I want to make sure everything is wet in there before I rotate this engine. Okay, then I've got everything set up to where I can run it, spin it. So let's see what we're getting for compression readings. This is cylinder number 1. We're starting at 0. About 155 pounds after 3 rotations. Pretty good. Just for a little bit of humor, this is the fan belt that came off of it. And for all I can tell, that might be the original fan belt that was supplied from GM, but obviously it's toast. So basically I'm just going to go through, reseal the engine, clean all the sheet metal up, rebuild the carbs, iron out all the little details, and this guy's going to get back a 6,000 mile motor. Hard to believe.